We usually assume that processing a thought or a piece of data requires a signal to move between points. It crosses a physical distance in sequential steps to deliver its message. Both biological and artificial neural networks rely on this architecture. Information remains local, meaning every calculation depends on signals physically traveling through wires or axons. This sequential flow imposes a hard speed limit on the system. Quantum annealing offers a different approach. Quantum annealing is a process where a system finds the optimal solution to a problem by letting entangled particles naturally settle into their lowest energy state. In machines like the D-wave quantum system, the computation exists as a global property of the shared quantum state, rather than a traveling signal. A classical system must linearly search through millions of possibilities to find an answer. An entangled system, by contrast, physically rests in the state of the solution from the start. This concept of non-local information addresses a mathematical gap in human development. The physical structure of the DNA double helix molecule has a limited capacity for storing data. Our genome contains roughly 20,000 protein-coding genes. However, a mature human brain functions with approximately 100 trillion specific synaptic connections. Standard models suggest the brain wires itself through experience after birth, but this fails to account for the complex, highly structured architecture present in newborns. Infants arrive with preset reflexes and dispositions that require an immense amount of pre-birth coordination. Because the genetic data alone cannot account for this complexity, it suggests that a non-local information source, an entanglement pattern, may be guiding the physical crystallization of the fetal brain. In 2013, Leonard Susskind proposed a conjecture known as ER equals EPR. This framework translates invisible quantum connections into actual physical geometry. The core rule is that entangled particles are linked by microscopic bridges in spacetime. Einstein-Rosen bridges, wormholes, and Einstein-Podolsky-Rosen pairs are the same connection. This suggests gravity, space, and time are emergent properties, the macroscopic result of millions of these connections weaving together. This physics applies directly to human biology. Every neuron in your body originated from a single fertilized cell and shares identical quantum-scale biochemistry. Viewed through the lens of ER equals EPR, the brain functions as a literal network of billions of microscopic wormholes. It is the most densely entangled structure in the known universe. Under this framework, consciousness exists as the internal, subjective experience of this dense entanglement geometry. It is what the interior of a biological wormhole network feels like from the inside. The physical brain serves as a transducer. A transducer is a device that converts information from one form to another. The brain acts as a biological antenna, coupling the non-local quantum pattern of our mind to the classical environment of our senses. This provides a mechanism for neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to reorganize its connections after injury. When brain tissue is damaged, the underlying entanglement pattern remains intact, guiding the growth of a new antenna in healthy tissue to restore the classical interface. The physical wiring of our brains develops around the pre-existing mind, rather than the mind emerging from the wiring. This framework offers a physical mechanism for phenomena usually labeled as paranormal. Telepathy functions through two brains experiencing a correlated shift in their shared quantum states. No signal is sent. Instead, the two systems act as a single, non-local unit. Collective intention, such as group prayer or meditation, can be viewed as an increase in interbrain entanglement coherence. Synchronizing multiple conscious systems amplifies the subtle effect any individual mind has on the underlying entanglement geometry of reality. This chart shows data from the Global Consciousness Project, which monitors physical random number generators around the world. These devices rely on quantum tunneling, producing a flat baseline. Researchers recorded significant spikes during major global events, including September 11th and the 2004 tsunami. These deviations suggest a correlation between mass collective attention and the quantum statistics of physical matter. Even reincarnation follows a physical logic via the no-deletion theorem. The no-deletion theorem is a principle of quantum mechanics stating that information cannot be destroyed. After death, the entanglement pattern of a consciousness may disperse and then reconcentrate around a new biological substrate, guiding its neural development. Ancient concepts like Vedantic non-duality and Indra's net align with this description of a reality built on non-local quantum connections. Tracing this network back to the Big Bang reveals a single, unified quantum state. All matter originated from this one point of total entanglement. Since quantum information cannot be destroyed, the universe remains a singular, entangled system. The connections formed at the origin of time have never been fully severed. We experience ourselves as isolated individuals because our biological senses operate on local, classical signals. This creates a low-bandwidth filter that masks the fundamentally connected reality underneath. The feeling of separation is reality's greatest illusion. Our biology makes us feel like separate jewels, even while we are part of a single, infinite net.